Hey, ladies and gents, just want to put this out there here real quick, right before you hear this next episode, which is it's little long. It ain't really long. It's kind of long. Probably a good workout, right? Good walk around the park somewhere, good hike, things of that nature. And different things that people like to do in their day, or you could split it up in a couple different listening sections, right? uh, in the episode about worry, because this one's about worry, right? Just a little nurturing talk, admonishment about worrying, right? I mentioned the song "Don't Worry, Be Happy." I give credit to Bob Marley for that song, and I was wrong, right? It was not Bob Marley; it was Bobby McFerrin, right? So we want to make sure that we give credit to where credit is due. We want to make sure that we do proper credit to where credit is due. Yet, Bob Marley did make a song about worry where he said, don't worry about a thing, because every little thing is going to be all right, right? Probably not in the best tune on that song, but we all got the idea, right? we all get it. We all got the idea. Every little thing's going to be all right, y'all, right? And we should be happy instead of worrying all the time. That ain't going to do nothing for your body. It's going to kill you, right? So there's just some things there. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode, and we will talk to you soon. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, and a good afternoon to you here on a Saturday in October, the year 2024, right? Oh man, family, your boy is full. The heart is full again. Like we said, we like speaking from that place. I don't like doing this. We just make a show to make a show. We make a show to be impactful, y'all. Not popular, impactful. And with that said, family, welcome in us who are the 7+ strong, getting closer to 800 views. We said, we believe, yeah, we hope, we yearn for, yeah, and we love, yes, that which is a different view. Y'all welcome in us, the 700+ strong, almost 800, right? Somebody hit the tambourine one time, almost 800 views. The word of truth is real. People believe a thing. Again, I'm not looking to be popular. We looking to be practical, impactful, helpful. Y'all welcome in, family. Those of us here who believe in a different view. Y'all welcome in, family. Welcome in. Today's topic is going to be about not worrying. It's going to be a little nurturing conversation. It's going to be a little admonishing, aka warning conversation. I see a lot of folks online still doing the back and forth dance with this government like they care about you. Ladies and gentlemen, you gotta realize they don't care. I could care less whether Kamala Harris is talking or not. Our dear sister, I should say, Kamala Harris is talking or not talking. I don't care whether Donald Trump talking Project 2025, 2014, 1987, 1776, Project 1619. I don't care what project you put on it. Realize, ladies and gentlemen, the real project is screwing you. Screwing your ancestors, screwing your elders and everybody connected to you. Just like it was to impact and this word as far as impact goes, because again, impact goes both ways. You got to understand, y'all, that the sun does shine on the just and the unjust. There are we in October, it's spook season, right? So we're going to, like I said, we're going to talk freely on things that are spiritual. Y'all buckle in. There are laws that govern the game we're running here, y'all, that you don't have a say in because you didn't make it. That don't make you any less than. That just means, as The Rock used to say in WWE, not this final boss mess that they're doing with The Rock. It's almost like they parade these wrestlers. Same thing with your actors and actresses and your artists and stuff. They out there shaking their ass 50, 60, 70 years old because, see, you got to keep working for massa. And we're going to get into a verse here that deals with why your boy KJ talks about massa and the master and how people have not put the two and two together. Right? We're just doing a little open here. Understand, y'all. You got to pick something here. This neutrality mess is mess. That don't mean you need to live a life of violence. That don't mean you need to live a life of hate and total dislike for people. No, that's what an adversarial mindset would do. We're talking about living life in love, in peace, in defense of yourself, in righteousness and justice toward people. Right? We got to start off there, y'all. Because if you don't, this thing ends with constant fighting and infighting, which is exactly what a group of folks with an adversarial mindset toward humanity would want. For you to keep arguing over silliness. Which is why you've seen me lately on my, now again, I'm on all social medias, right? So we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, right? Again, if they are, we should be. If someone is watching you and taking and collecting your information, shouldn't you be watching them, y'all? I know we like to disconnect because we don't like the thought of all of this, but as far as protection goes, we ain't talking about you got to sit there 24/7 watching them, y'all. That's the obsession that's driving them. That doesn't drive you. Yet, you need to be there and watchful. Where are our watchmen and watchwomen on the tower, y'all? Where are y'all at? Don't rep neither Democratic nor Republican. Rep a government for the people. And I don't matter what name you put on that. Anyway. Matthew chapter 6. Coming off the heels of Matthew 5, which we had talked about in previous episodes, a few recent previous episodes. The Sermon on the Mount. Seems as if the Son of God was still on fire talking. For those who believe whether Jesus was the Son of God or not, so be it. Yet it still seems like that word of truth was still flowing. And Jesus had some extra things to say. So we're going to bring them before the table today, ladies and gentlemen, as a family, because again, we need to understand the heart of a thing. We have missed it, again, as we're going to get into in Valentine's Day. And I'm starting to allude to it a little bit on my Facebook, on some of my Facebook posts, which is one of the social medias that you will find the host and creator of A Different View podcast on, y'all, right? Like we said, and we're going to say it again because repetition, right, is necessary for learning, which it definitely is. Right? Well, we've sucked down now a quarter year of your kids being in school, being repeated a whole lot of mess so that they could learn how to be good slaves for master. Just got to say what the truth is, y'all. It's not time to be scared anymore. Again, if you love this life, you will lose it. See, and if you believe something, then what do you really believe? Do you believe in speak enough just so that you can keep getting that good old 501c and 501c3, however they divide it, don't matter what titles they're using, how they give you money as a church? Or are you the body of Christ? Huh? Are you the illuminated? To our Buddhist brothers and sisters, are you the illuminated? What is the price that you are bought by? Should there be a price on it? And if you believe there isn't, then why are you acting like we're bought, y'all? We're thankful for different groups and stuff. This is why we Shout out to Spotify for podcasters, right? This give credit to where credit is due. A platform. Again, you don't see no other platforms putting on nothing for anybody to speak, do you? Oh, you don't. Gotcha. Okay. So shout out to Spotify for podcasters, right? A platform where we can speak, where we can talk the truth of a thing plainly and openly so people can learn and understand the world around them in what? A different view, right? So let's go into Matthew chapter 6 here. Start putting some things on the table and going from there. Again, ladies and gentlemen, you'll start seeing certain things where I'm dealing in sex a little bit more. So some of the stuff that you see is going to get a little more pointed because it's time that we stop. We are hurting our relationships. We are breaking up from very wholesome relationships because we have not illuminated and renewed our mind on the topic. And again, you're going to have to either accept a thing or not, and then you're going to have to start picking and choosing the people and building your families around this kind of thing. I hope this actually gets to the ears of the young people. Since parents don't seem to be telling their kids the real, it's time to start talking the real. When it comes to sex, you better hear that thing from mama and daddy, or uncle and auntie that has agreement from mama and daddy to speak on the thing to their young ones, so that nephews and nieces and our cousins, grandkids and great-grandkids stop dying out here, emotionally and physically, mentally and spiritually, and that they start living more than we did. It's pride that stops you from saying a thing. Now, excuse me when I say pride, haughtiness. I got on that topic with a brother a couple of days ago. And again, respect to everybody's beliefs on the thing, right? Their understanding on the thing. We're not here to make fun. But again, guys, when you start seeing that word pride, understand that the human mind only goes so far on the different entities of things that do not come from this world, that we then use in this world, like the word supernatural. I'm just saying what it is, y'all. Again, like the Apostle Paul says in the Bible, I have not arrived, nor do I consider myself to have arrived. But we just going to talk to you from what I've seen. And you take it or leave it, right? We got to start educating. If you know the educational system ain't educating, you better open up them books and knowledge, elders. Before y'all become our ancestors, you better say something to us, please. Understand that in every generation there has been right and wrong. And you learn from both the right and wrong streams of life, if you will, or streams of knowledge, right? You got to have the wisdom to differentiate between the two. Ain't everybody 100%, not nobody. Not this generation, not your parents, not your grandparents, and so on and so forth. Not the generations that come after you, because again, you learn in part. Matthew chapter 6. Let me try to get into this. Take heed that you don't do your alms. Again, giving, right? For lack of time, I don't really want to get into a whole deep dive on the word alms, but we're just going to define it here so people understand. KJ, what does alms mean? It's a noun that means, again, this is something you just write on your phone, y'all. We got to stop this mess about where we can't learn nothing because everything is a tainted pool of knowledge. No, it ain't. The tainted pool is in the mind more than it. Again, train your senses to know the difference. You can know the difference. A noun meaning money, food, or other material goods given to people in need, right? That link, comes from the definition that is found on Wikipedia, which again, they're pulling from something that comes from, say, for instance, William and Webster's dictionary, something such as money or food given freely to relieve the poor. Now, of course, they always keep talking about the poor. And yeah, the poor you will have, which you always. However, this thing ain't just for folks that got tattered clothes, living out on the corner block, saying, please, sir, can I have some more? See, didn't the Bible in the verse before, in the chapter beforehand, tell you the poor in spirit? Blessed are those who are the poor in spirit, right? So I guess, is this what? No. See, again, differentiate, y'all, right? And that's all right. Good old big bro, Uncle KJ, here to help, man. I'm being for real. I know we done heard in church. Yeah, you know, because down south and stuff like that in black church, we don't say church, we say church. And where'd you go today? I went to church. Yeah, you went to church, all right. The shouting and hollering only goes so far, y'all. And then you got to understand the thing. The humming and chanting only goes so far, y'all. And then you got to understand the thing. This goes to every culture, right? We just use the one that's closest and dearest to my heart here. Okay? It's something that is me. I'm not going to deny what is me anymore. We don't do that. It's time to embrace it, right? But I'm also going to call out what's going on, which is nuts. Okay? It's levels of insanity. And again, if judgment starts somewhere, then it's time to speak, right? So not just the poor, but people who need help, y'all. So let's put that in the put that definition into the word. Now, when you read, take heed that this is verse 1, that you do not your given to those in need before men. Now, when it's saying before men, it's talking people solely. So you know how you got folks who really put that feather in their cap because they helped you today. You know how they helped you at work. Hey, I helped this person do this task today or do that today. Almost as if that, you know, without them, without you helping them, they couldn't do nothing. Be careful of haughtiness creeping up in the mind, because that comes before a fall, y'all. Wait, KJ, I know it said, didn't it say pride there? Yeah, I know it says pride. That word is taken out of balance. You're supposed to be proudful of yourself. You know what? We've already talked about it, but we said repetition is necessary for learning, right? So let's just do this. Pride definition, right? Again, easy as going right on your phone, right on your computer, on your phone, from Oxford's Dictionary. The feeling of deep pleasure or satisfaction derived from, see again, what do y'all believe? Are you going to hold on to what somebody told you for years of your life? Or are you going to step out on that water and see something different, y'all? A feeling of deep pleasure or satisfaction derived from one's own achievements, the achievements of those with whom one is closely associated, or from qualities or possessions that are widely admired. Like pride for your country. I should say it better said, the land you live on. Because if people had pride on the land they live on in America, you would do less of this United States mess and more America the beautiful. But I digress. Consciousness of one's own dignity. Consciousness. Let's look at that word consciousness, because there's a group of folks out there who are conscious of a thing, right? This is like a whole group. And again, there's some very serious truth there that you need to pay attention to, that Christians will make fun of, so on and so forth, right? Again, which is out of balance. Yet, what does it mean, KJ? What does consciousness mean? Now, we're saying consciousness. I'm not getting into the word conscious. Again, we're trying to do this for time's sake here, because we're 16 minutes in, right? The state of being awake. Stay woke, y'all. And sorry, you don't want to agree with it, that's fine, but stay woke, y'all, right? And aware of one's surroundings. I think that's enough said right there. Right? Let's get back into Matthew and then we're going to go on, man. Oh, so take heed to not do your arms before men to be seen of them. Otherwise, you have no reward of your Father, which is in heaven. Again, which one do you believe, y'all? Even if you don't, so fine. Transpose out the whole I don't believe in God, so on and so forth, which is fine. I'm not disparaging that. We don't do that here, right? At the end of the day, though, higher calling, higher purpose. As Loki said in the TV show there, for glorious purpose. What's the end game for y'all? And sometimes when you just live a life frivolous with no kind of You open up the door for a lot of this stuff to happen. See, again, there is still this idea of something that could hurt someone, like for real, something you do personally that could aid in or actually hurt someone or not. We have to be more cognitive of that, y'all. We do. We have to be. Again, you can live your life without doing that, but in doing that, you'll open up the door to be really hurting somebody who you shouldn't. All right? I'm not going to go into it because I'm not going to go into the rest of that part of it, because this is what we want to get to, is the worry part of it, which is down further in the chapter. So we're going to start off with 24 because this is necessary, because we talked about this whole thing with why do I say massa and master. Verse 24, no man, switch out man for human, no human can serve two masters. Oh boy, for either he or again they will hate the one and love the other. Or else he, aka they, will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. Dealing with riches, dealing with temporary things. Again, earlier in the chapter, it talks about why would you lay up for yourself stuff that can rust or moth, however you pronounce that one, right? However you pronounce the O there. Rust, rot, like a moth on your clothes where it just disintegrates. And you look at money today, you can look at inflation, all that kind of stuff. There, man, that thing go a roller coaster all the time. Right now, we on the high part of that roller coaster, man. We up in the high. We just want to come down, yo. We just trying to come down, man. Oh, wow. I know they talk about it with folks who smoke cannabis where they high, they don't want to come down. This is the opposite of that. Man, we just want to come down, man. Can stuff not be $7? You know what I'm saying? Can we go back to maybe $3.50? Cut it in half? Could we maybe $2.50? Can we? But that's cool. See, again, people have accepted masses doctrine, as I say on this podcast. So guess what you get? A whole lot of nothing. And you're going to enjoy them high prices. This is how Master thinks. And you better hop to the tune to it and not complain so much and be thankful for what you got, right? That's the twisting of holy notions right there, where they tell you to be thankful in an environment where you're screwed. Multiply that out by different words and phrases we use, and you can clearly see how twisted holy notions really are, y'all, right? Verse 25, this is where it gets, this is where the nurture part comes in. Therefore I say unto you, take no thought of your life. See, again, we're talking two different masters here. So this is the master talking. Take no thought of your life. Take no thought of your life means don't worry. That's what it's telling you there. What you'll eat, what you'll drink, nor yet for what your body, what you'll put on. Again, I'm reading from the King James Version, but I'm transposing out words like modern day talking, right? Which again, we've been given a good mind to do that, so might as well, right? Is not the life more than meat? And man, people can't that you've been so deceived that you really do believe that the meat is more than your life. That the body is more than the clothes. Isn't your body more than the clothes? Again, people got it flipped, y'all. I mean more than the job I'm on. See, we talk about that. What's that? Affirming, right? We make fun of our Buddhist and Hinduist brothers and sisters with this whole manifestation and affirming and speaking positive. Check this out. Check this out, y'all. Say it over yourself. Y'all want to keep making fun of witches and everything. Again, the good God above has put down these spiritual principles for us to use. Speak positively over your life. No, I'm worth something. I'm not what my husband, wife keeps saying I am. I'm better than that. Come on, somebody. And we're talking in an environment where there's very serious, destructive, and hurtful things going on. I'm more than what my boyfriend, girlfriend is telling me. I'm more than what my boss is saying of me. Say it till it gets in your psyche, y'all. Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor do they gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feeds them. What this is meaning is that, of course, we just talked about that the sun shines on the just and the unjust, so there are certain things already in operation around people, whether they are considered just or unjust, right? And as long as you operate those rules, you get the reward or consequence thereof. Okay. Again, whether you believe it or not, so be it, right? This is meaning to talk about how the bird ain't really like working per se in the ground, working the ground. You know how, like, shout out to our farmers, right? Shout out to them one time. You better get to know them, man. The way they messing with food, you better get to know how to do things from this land. I'm just saying, y'all. Okay. Tap your grandmama on the shoulder and say, hey, how did you used to do it? You better do it, man. How did your mother and father teach you? You better. Anyway, man, old school really ain't that old, man. It's just a different class. That's all that is, man. It's just a different class, right? The senior's just a different class from the freshman, but we all still in school. Come on, somebody, right? Yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much better than they? Jesus sitting there talking to folks about where the class of humans is right there, but y'all ain't got it yet. Because you still treat your dog better than your baby. Yay. Say, KJ, what you say? Talk about people. Need to treat their kids better than their dog. Yeah. Right? Now, further into this idea, which of you, by taking thought, can add 1 cubit to his stature? So you don't worry that much. This is for me like anybody else, y'all. So again, we ain't talking to nobody. We talking up to people, huh? For once, let's talk up to folks instead of down to them. Come up higher, right? My ways are higher than your. Never mind. Leave it alone. Which of you, by taking thought, can add 1 cubit to your stature? Who worrying about a thing all day, all night, days on end, months to a year on end, and so on, has gotten taller? You do harm to your body. That's what's being told right there by you worrying constantly. Ain't about no worry. It's about planning strategy. Strategizing, right? It's about get it, whatever you got to do, however you got to change up your life. You got to move, you got to go, you got to do whatever it is, whatever you got. Keep that part at the forefront of your mind, not the worrying part, right? And we can help each other do that. Again, we got to bear one another's burdens, right? Why take thought for clothes? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. Again, same idea. They toil not, neither do they spin. Spin's an old school word dealing with this idea of working and not doing anything. You know, spinning like on, what's that movie? Was it Sleeping Beauty? The one where she pricked her finger and then fell asleep and all that spinning wheel, right? Again, the lilies of you don't see the grass out there. I mean, other than the wind blowing and it's dancing, it looks pretty and all. We're not talking about that, right? This is stuff in people's minds, man. No, what we're talking about is this idea. And then lilies ain't, they just there. They chilling, man. They growing, they under the natural order of life, yo. Yet I say unto you that even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. You ever looked and seen lilies in the field? Again, we just talked about this with the grass blowing through the wind and stuff. Stuff look beautiful. America the beautiful, right? Wherefore, man, if God so clothed the grass of the field, which today is and tomorrow's cast into the oven, and again, you live out in the prairie lands, it gets so hot that fire starts naturally, right? Now we're getting into the subject of, things burning. Same thing kind of happens like in forests, parts will burn, right? Science at work, right? We're not talking about where people do it on purpose. We're talking about where it happens naturally. Shout out to our firefighters and stuff that got to put that stuff out. Hello, somebody, right? Talk to a firefighter. Talk to your firefighter. I can't even say the word. Talk to your firefighters one time about when they got to go out there and do that and how hard that is to put out those flames. Okay, just putting water on the. Okay. Shall he not more clothe you, O ye of little belief? See, again, the word faith means we not believing in nothing because we have sucked down my syrup so much we forgot to believe. We have put aside believing stuff. Again, the way it is taught in the Bible, because of things like the hardness of people's hearts is why you got divorced the way it is. Because men have hurt women, and then women respond to. We just gotta say it, y'all. See, again, you the head of the household, man. But when it come to doing wrong, now it's the woman you gave me. You want to break that cycle, then you've got to put it at your feet. Don't matter the part she did. Or again, we can use this same thing in homosexual relationships because it don't change. Don't matter what he or she did. What did you do? Little bit harder to do that now, isn't it? But yet easier if you start practicing how to do that. Again, we don't have to do this when it's time to have discussions and come to a place of agreement on things here. And we're going to wrap up now while we're here at 30 minutes because we ain't going long on this kind of idea because it is what it is. You either believe a thing or you don't. Right. You got to understand that, hey, it's on me. And we help each other through each other's issues, whether it's excessive worry, whatever it is. Right? Overeating, overspending. And we come to the table understanding, hello. Right? Wherefore take no thought, saying what you'll eat and what you'll drink, or who the next president gonna be, or what Puff Daddy doing, or what Sexy Red is doing, Cardi B is doing. Taylor Swift is doing. Or what we will drink, or wherewith shall we be clothed. For after all these things do the Gentiles seek. Again, the unrenewed mind. Another way it is said in different circles of belief is the mentally dead. I'm just saying what it is, y'all. For your heavenly Father knoweth that you have need of all these things. God knows. Never mind. I ain't even going. Will it? Anyway, you seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. So what is that kingdom? Again, we take the spook off things. The kingdom is everything you just finished. Again, reign, right? How things rule and reign. For instance, you can easily say that England's kingdom has clearly been transposed onto these lands here in America. The way they used to look at things in the 1600s, again, this month is very apropos for that. This month is very apropos for that. And I did forget to talk about the things that are the impact on this month. There's actually a couple that we missed, like World Mental Health Day was the 10th, a couple days ago, right? So we'll have a conversation about that next time we speak, because I want to put that out there for the family to understand what's going on this month. We need to understand what's going on in the highlights of these months and highlight the things that are highlighted in these months, because we really need to bring serious healing to these subjects. We do. Either that or we just keep letting it go on like it is. It's again, we all got choice, right? Therefore, take no thought for tomorrow. For tomorrow shall take thought for the morrow, or for tomorrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day, or that day, is the evil thereof, also the good therein. Which is why you gotta not worry about it, because you must keep your heart open to being aware of when you see the good happening. That way you can have the counterbalance to the evil that happens in that day. I hope y'all caught that. The reason you stay away from the worry part is so you can keep your mind and heart clear to do the good stuff, to counteract that which would be the bad stuff happening in that day, y'all. So for every person using a Winchester rifle, shotgun, semi-automatic, 9mm, since we're making songs about shooting folks with a 9mm, again, this is what we're talking about, how dangerous gangster hip hop is. You got to have the people out there boldly standing up saying y'all are wrong as gun owners, right? For those of y'all out there who are using sex responsibly, you are the light to those who are not. Again, listen to what I'm saying. I'm not knocking down nobody has an open relationship, operates in BDSM, who is homosexual, who is transgender. You don't hear none of that coming out of my mouth. I said using sex responsibly. There's a difference. Y'all who use sex responsibly, be a light. Don't be worrying about nothing going on. Be a light to those who are not, right? And that's the awesomeness of this. That's the responsibility. But again, that yoke is light. That burden to be like that responsibility, it's easy, y'all. Yeah, lately on my Facebook page, I've been putting up some stuff, and I just wanted to get that chapter out there. Just wanted to get that idea out there, and we will reference it from time to time as we go along. Because again, y'all, there's no time to worry. And here's how we end off and we cap off here. Literally just saw this just a little while ago. Don't ever feel bad for making a decision. Of course, I've reposted this, so this is not me. We're just reposting what I saw here. Don't ever feel bad for making a decision about your own life that upsets people. Huh? Listen, we grieve with those who grieve. This goes for folks who move somewhere, take another job that's separate from someone else, any of those kinds of things. Right? We're not talking about the thing like, hey, I'm with a wife beater or a husband beater now, so, you're just going to have to accept it. That's not what... that's not what I'm talking about. Okay? You are not responsible for their happiness. You're responsible for your own happiness. Anyone who wants you to live in misery. No, KJ, come on now. That ain't what people want. Don't nobody want you living in misery. They just want to make sure you're making the right decision. The mama bird lets the birds fly. Matter of fact, the mama bird kicked the bird out to make sure it can fly. Sometimes before it's ready to fly, y'all. Huh? We're talking about the things that happen naturally in this earth. How they get their wings. That also does not mean that I'm sitting here saying it's cool for you to kick your kids out before they got enough money and stuff to be able to do things. Again, it's about learning some things, right? You don't put your baby out to death like that. Again, especially if you're going to be against abortion, right? The same death before the womb or right before you leave the womb would be the same non-death out the womb, right? Just as long as we're keeping a baseline here. I'm sorry. Hey. It's just what it is, y'all. Anyone who wants you to live in misery for their happiness should not be in your life to begin with. And that's where we're going to stop, y'all. That's where we're going to stop. We just wanted to talk about not worrying. Don't worry. As the great artist Bob Marley used to say, don't worry. Be happy. Be happy. That's the opposite of everything that we talked about today. Y'all be happy. Y'all continue after knowledge. Continue after learning this world around you. Don't be complacent that you know everything. We don't know everything. Not me, not you. We don't know everything. A lot has been messed with, y'all, and it's time to find it out, right? So that's what I got for y'all today. Stay tuned for the next October episode, because we're going to get into some things here that highlight in the month of October that we need to pay attention to. Again, shout out one time to World Mental Health Day that just passed, man. That's real. We got to pay attention to our mental, y'all, because we have let that thing slip. And I've gone a few minutes over here, so my apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for walking this road with me. And as always, and until next time, look to find the beauty in a different view.